All right, we are live, and thanks so much for tuning in today. As always, I really appreciate you coming by and watching our content. It means a lot to me, and hopefully, it's helping you grow. If you can, just subscribe wherever you're watching. That really helps us out. I'm trying to get more subs on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're watching. Please just hit the subscribe button. It takes no time at all. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the 5 dental mistakes that almost sank my career. And I'm kind of embarrassed to talk through these because when I first got started in dental marketing, I just didn't understand these things. And this is why, to be honest with you, a lot of marketers struggle when they're new to dental, is because these things really impact you. And if you don't understand marketing and dental, it takes about 3 years to really wrap your brain around it, even if you're a great marketer, because there are some things that are nuanced that just don't make sense. So I'm going to work through these 5 things. I hope they help you. I hope you don't think less of me as I work through these, and I hope that they help you grow. And the last one is probably the biggest killer of growth, and I have a resource for you on that one. So the 5 biggest mistakes that almost sank my career, don't repeat them.
Sorry for interrupting the show, but I got something special for you. So we only got 27 more seats at our in-person event. We're going to be helping you grow in 2026. We're going to be putting together a growth map for you, helping you with attracting the right kind of team members, attracting the right kind of patients, and getting your systems in place for next year so you can actually grow. Now, this event is normally $499, but I have a discount code down below for $199. Make sure you sign up right away. There's only a few seats left. We look forward to seeing you soon. Now back to the show.
Here we go. Number 1, not knowing the difference between the 3 different points of entry into a practice. It's really important that you understand how patients find your practice and how they come into your practice. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can understand this. Number 1 is you can understand it as the actual flow that they come in, meaning the phones, forms, online scheduler, messaging, chat, those kind of things, right? So those are one way that the patients flow in, and you have to be aware of all of those. Why? Because they break all the time. Sometimes phones go down or people just ignore the phone calls because they're busy. Sometimes forms get ignored in the email box. Sometimes the online scheduler breaks on the website and it scares patients away. Sometimes people ignore the chat in your office. And all of these things, if there's leads and patients coming through wanting to schedule with you and no one's paying attention to it, you just lose all those opportunities. So that's one side of it. You have to know all of those and you have to pay attention to all of those. Also, on the flip side of that, you need to understand once the patient does contact your office, there's really only 3 ways that they're going to come in. They're going to come in through your hygiene department. They're going to come in through your doctor schedule, which is usually like an emergency or some kind of treatment that they need done right away. Or they're going to come through like a consultation schedule, and everybody does that differently. Sometimes that's a doctor schedule. Sometimes it's a treatment coordinator where it's like for implants, different things like that, or aligners. That's it. So I'll hear people say, oh, my hygiene schedule's too full. I can't market. And it's like, well, how's your doctor schedule though? Oh, we got tons of room. We need a lot of treatment. Or they might say, hey, we don't have a ton of room right now, even with the doctor, but we do have room to bring them in through like a consultation for aligners, for implants, and to educate the patient that way. So you got to understand that. And when one is busy, the other one should be doing the heavy lifting, but you got to really strategically think through that from a marketing standpoint. So that's really important to understand. I just didn't, as an early marketer, I just didn't understand that about dental, that there was these different paths into the office. And I would often step on my own toes because each of those require a different kind of marketing, different timing of marketing, different strategy of marketing. All right, number 2. Not knowing the gap between high intent and low intent patients. Now, low intent patients are not bad. It's just you need more of them. So what do I mean? When you're marketing, a high intent patient is going to be the easiest one for you to convert. And so a high intent is somebody who has high intent to come into your office. So somebody who jumps online and says dentist near me or dental emergency, that's a high intent patient. It's kind of like phone book. If you're old like me, you'll remember the phone books. Someone who goes to the phone book, opens it up, and looks to dentist, that's a high intent patient. Low intent patients are people who do not intend to come to the dental office, and then you're interrupting their scroll, meaning you're running like maybe a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad, or, and people used to run television ads. And those kind of things, what you're doing is you're fishing in a pond of people who did not ask you to fish there. They're not interested. But that doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means you need more of those, more touches. So when you're working with high intent patients, you need less touches, and your opportunity is much higher with each one of those because the need's much higher. It's high intent. Low intent, you need a lot more touches. I mean, you need more views, you need more eyeballs, you need more people interacting with you because they didn't ask for it. So less people are going to be interested in that moment. Postcards are like that as well. Postcards are low intent. And so it's not wrong or right. It's that you have to understand that why do I got to send 20,000 postcards to get 10 patients? Well, it's because you're in low intent. Why isn't my Facebook ads might not be working? Well, it's low intent. Did you get enough? Did you get 10,000 views or 100,000 views or 20,000 views? And then how many of those people turned into leads and then interested patients? So it's a much different number game versus Google, where it's like, okay, well, we got 100 people to view this, and it turned into 20 new patients because it's high intent. Okay, again, not right or wrong, just you need to understand that. Number 3, the other thing that almost sunk my career is not understanding how leaky the patient journey really is. Okay, so the patient journey in a dental office is so leaky. It's like a leaky bucket that you're trying to carry water from the ocean up to your sandcastle up the way, but your bottom of your bucket has these massive holes in it. And by the time you get up there with the water, it's all gone every single time. That is how the patient journey is all the way through in almost every single dental office. And most people don't realize it. They don't know because they go into their PMS and they're like, oh, we have a 95% retention rate. Or they go into their dashboard, oh, we're 92% retention rate. Everybody loves us. But they don't realize that they're bleeding new patients all the way through. So just from the top of funnel working down, 35% of calls go unanswered during normal business hours. I did not realize that when I first got into dental. And that means 35% of your budget's just going down the drain, going to the next competitor. 35%, that's really, really high. Go unanswered during normal business hours. That's average. So 80% of you guys out there have this problem. Then from there, once you do answer the phone, only about 50% of marketing new patients get converted on the phone once you do pick up the phone. That's the average. Now, can you get higher? Of course. With training, we have trainings for you. If you want those, just comment below on the phones. Happy to give those to you for free. But that is a big problem. 50% is huge. We just lost 80% of our opportunities just on not answering the phones and on conversion. Then from there, the average time to appointment is 2 to 3 weeks in the dental industry. That means patients are waiting. That means your no-show rate's going to spike up, especially with marketing new patients. I've seen people all the way up at 50% no-show rate because they were putting patients out 3 weeks. The patient takes the spot, but they end up in another dental office. So now we've just lost almost all of our marketing opportunities. None of that has anything to do with marketing. That's all operations. Then you get in to the office, and then you look at conversion rate of the new patients in there, and people who are actually buying treatment versus the ones that are just walking out and saying, let me think about it. Let me talk to my wife. And then when you actually go and look at the whole journey, most people are losing 99% of their marketing and have no clue because it's all blended together with their other patient base and all of those kind of things. So that is a huge problem. Huge problem. And you have to close those. If you do not close those, then your marketing will never work. Okay. And so I had to learn that the hard way and learn how to help people with that. All right. Number 4, not seeing how some dentists treat insurance above patients. What do I mean by that? So there's a big problem. So dentists, they hate insurances, right? I get it. I totally understand it. I'm right there with you. They don't compensate you well. It's kind of a rigged system. However, they do make your job way easier. Meaning, if the first question you ask the patient when they call, a new patient, is, do you have insurance? And then you're catering to the insurance all the time. Like, And when the patient, I hate even saying this, but when the patient's in your chair, instead of treating the patient, you're treating their insurance and what their insurance is going to cover. I've experienced this personally, where I went into an office and I said, no, I don't have insurance. And they're like, yeah, everything looks good. And then I came back a little bit later and I was like, you know what? I do have insurance. Let me put it on file. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, you can get this treatment and it's covered by your insurance mostly. What are they doing? They assume that I didn't want to do the treatment because it's easier to sell treatment that the insurance is paying for. Let's be honest. And so what ends up happening is we treat the insurance and not the patient. And that's a huge problem. That is a huge problem because it makes you weaker on the phones, weaker at scheduling, weaker at presenting treatment, weaker at recare. You're just weak all across the board. Then when you go to actually drop insurances and fix all this, you have to actually fix all the guts inside of there too. You have to get better at answering the phones. You have to get better at scheduling. You have to learn how to block schedule and be more convenient for people. You have to learn how to present treatment. You have to learn to make sure that patients are buying treatment that they need, using patient financing, getting them back to the next appointment. If you don't do these things, then you're just treating the insurance and at the same time complaining about the insurance, but really that's the glue that's holding you together. I know people don't like hearing that, but that's my spicy take for the day. All right, and number five, not respecting the competition. So for a long time, people just didn't understand dental marketing. And so we were able to feast on that for a long time. But now a lot of people do understand dental marketing, and it's competitive. Plus, you're dealing with big DSOs and things like that. And so it's very easy to get lost in the sauce and not even think about your competition. And the problem with that is that your marketing is suffering because of it, and you just never even care to look at it. So what do you have to do? You have to be able to map out all of your marketing new patients, and you have to be able to look at them in relationship to income, population, and competition. And you should be able to look at that, all your historical new patients, and look at it on a map and see where you might be fishing in a pond that's oversaturated with other fishermen, right? If I was on a boat and there's 20 fishermen all around me and we're all fishing in the same exact spot, I'm probably going to move my boat. Right? I'm probably going to cast out beyond where they're at. Now you say, well, I'm in an office. I can't move my boat. Yeah, but you can move your targeting on your marketing pretty easy. And so if you haven't done that before and looked at, well, we're not even marketing over here. Why? There's no dentist over here. Look, we're the first one. And as you come down the highway, everybody has to drive past us to get to wherever they're going for shopping, for schools, et cetera, et cetera. Why aren't we marketing on that side? And so that's something that really helps to create a competitive advantage into your favor. And so I put a link down below. If you want that resource, you can have it for free, no cost. And again, if this is useful information and to help you think a little bit differently about dental marketing and growth, comment down below, let me know, and sub. It really helps me out. Hope you have a good day.